It's a pretty common event for movie studios to produce a graphic novel or comic book series in order to coincide with a film's release. When looking at the Aliens universe, we've seen a ton of great content from the comic books, as well as other outside sources like video games and novels. Today I want to take a look at the graphic novel for the original 1979 Alien film. Dark Horse Comics, who's been creating the comic side of the Alien universe, wasn't even around back then, but the talented group of artists and writers at Heavy Metal magazine would end up converting the iconic Alien into comic form. The famous French artist Moebius had worked on the failed film adaptation of Dune in 1975, along with Alien movie soon-to-be alumni Dan O'Bannon, Chris Foss, and the legendary H.R. Giger. Moebius actually helped create the Heavy Metal magazine, so when the idea of an illustrated version of Alien came up, Heavy Metal was given the task. So with that quick background out of the way, I've got to say I absolutely love this graphic novel. It follows the movie nicely, although it does have a few changes here and there. We have to remember that this story was done before the movie was out, and before the scripts were even finalized. However, when reading this story, there was one scene that always stuck out to me from these comics. And that was the infamous box alien scene. It's towards the end of the 1979 Alien film when we find Ellen Ripley as she is running through a dark hallway with alarms blaring overhead when she almost comes face to face with the alien creature. In the illustrated story, we caught the alien in a much different and somewhat awkward position. Ripley was still running, cat and toe, just like in the movie, but when she came around the corner, there was something alien, but not quite right. There sat a box at the end of the hallway, yet it had a design similar to the Giger-esque look of the alien creature. A head and tail would slowly begin to lift and separate from the rest of the square alien shape. Slowly, it was revealed that this was the alien, and for some strange reason, it had contorted itself into the shape of a box and was sitting in this dark hallway. Okay, so now we get back to Walt Simonson, the artist of the original illustrated story, who was flown to England to see an early rough cut of the film in order to have the comic stories ready when the film debuted. According to Simonson, not only was the film longer then, but it had a few things that weren't in the final release. He is quoted as saying, "At least one of the guys that I was with, who was watching the movie with us, thought that it looked really cheesy, but I thought it looked really cool." Simonson says he was assured that the alien box scene would be in the final film's release, stating that they were still editing the film at that point. So when I got to the point in the graphic novel where I had to put that part in or take it out, because it would affect the placement of the left and right pages of the story, I asked them and they said, "For right now, it's in." Unfortunately for us, any proof of this alien box story stops at Walt Simonson and the Alien illustrated story. There appears to have been no scene filmed featuring the box alien, and no production photographs have surfaced featuring the mythical alien pose. It hasn't even been mentioned in any of the film's commentaries, and there's no concept art of the pose either, no storyboards or even Ridley-grams. And no proper suit was ever built either. We haven't even seen an early script with the box scene included. According to the Strange Shapes Alien blog on the subject, they believe, like many others, that the alien box is actually a myth and is possibly a misunderstanding of some photos of the alien in a crouched position. They also mention, and I found this really interesting, that it could be a misunderstood remnant from a lost ending scene in which H.R. Giger says that a preview audience got to see an alternate cut of the film complete with an ending with an alien cocoon in the corner of the Narcissus shuttle, hinting at the movie's eventual sequel. So what do you guys think of the box alien idea? I personally think it's a stretch, but I also think it could be an interesting concept if it was handled correctly. Dan O'Bannon did mention in an interview with Famous Monsters that there was a scene of the alien, quote, folded up like a weird looking box. But this, along with various other close-ups, would give too graphic a look at the creature. So who knows if it was ever a real thing. I do wonder if the scene where Fifield and Prometheus is all boxed up like so is an homage to the infamous box alien. Either way, the Alien illustrated story is a must read for any Alien fan out there. Thanks. Thanks for all your comments, likes, and subscriptions. Take care, everybody, and I hope to see you next time.